Hi, I'm Megan, and welcome to the Intermish, the show where it's literally the length of an NHL intermission where we discuss teams, memes, the NHL, players, trades, picks, and we're just really wanting to know if...
Excuse me, sir? You okay?
Well, did I miss anything? I'm kidding. No, the NBA All-Star Game. No, I'm actually joking. No one watched that. Foreign Nations happened, and things happened, and I took some notes, and I think I would like to rehash with you what we should all never forget and know. One, Sid is still the kid, and don't you forget it. They kept talking about him being the oldest one, in the tournament. You couldn't tell. I mean, he's still the same player I first saw in the third grade that I thought, wow, he's the best. Overall, I'm over the moon for him. He looks great. Two, Johnny Hockey, forever and ever, amen. Johnny Gaudreau should have been on that ice, and it makes me kind of emotional and kind of angry that he's unable to be, however, it made me really happy to know that his father was a part of the team process and everything, and it was just, it made me happy, and it made me like John Tortorella, even for a brief moment. Three, that unless it's actually helping to bring to light an actual true injustice or an actual cause, politics need to be kept out of sports. Point blank, period. And to the people who have joined sports or just now joined hockey, I'm sorry that this is the premise and what you saw last night behind the Canadian bench. That is not at all the America that I know. That is the America that we have all socially made okay because of a creeping fallacy, I believe. Creeping fallacies. Yeah. Keep that shit out of my game. Thank you. Five, this is really not a question. It's a question. It's not so much as something I learned. It's just, does anyone know where Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes were during the Four Nations face-off? At the end, I figured out that maybe they, were on a break or something, and they just, came back randomly at the end, but... Another thing. What my dad calls soul-crushing...
Centering pass, McDavid scores!
I call character builder. And finally, I would like to say congratulations to Team Canada. It was a very interesting tournament, and it was truly somewhat the best of best. And for all the money in the world, I would have loved to have been there. And congratulations, guys. And Connor McDavid finally knows what it's like to win something. And also, I was really expecting them in this picture to do the Dirty Dancing lift. So McDavid could have the time of his life. Because he's never felt that way before. And I swear, it's true. And I owe it all to you. Sorry. But now that that's all said and done, and we're all done having fun, we can now focus on the ultimate prize that everyone is playing for, the Stanley Cup. And so today's episode is the drunk history of the adventures of Lord Stanley's Cup. So, with that being said, this is Tito's. The vodka for dog people, an actual good vodka. I'd like to say that. Please sponsor me, Tito's. You're the only vodka I drink. I'm literally doing this shot on the internet so that way I can actually get content out of this. Please, Tito's, sponsor me, please. And Ocean Spray. Because who doesn't love a good vodka crayon? But I digress. I'll see you here in a moment.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Many minutes later.
Okay. And, yeah, I feel like Lucille Bluth, but...
That one didn't count.
But let's get into some little facts about the Stanley Cup. It's named after Lord Stanley of Preston, who actually donated the cup. It was originally a punch bowl, which, if you can believe it, hang on, I have to burp. The first cup ever went to Montreal. It was at some point decided that was the de facto, meaning by law, that if you win the Stanley Cup playoffs, you got the Stanley Cup. The league, however, does not own it. The trustees that were appointed, and they're members of the family and stuff, I guess. And it's been through a lot, but here it's got some cool traditions. We'll go into what it's been through in a second, but it's got some cool traditions. I've written this all down. In 1896, Winnipeg started the whole drinking from the cup thing. If you ever see an image of a Stanley Cup being drank out of, no, that started in Winnipeg Victorians. By the way, a lot of teams at the very beginning were teams, and they weren't they're not teams now. No. However, the whole captain hoisting it around and running around with it on the ice. I mean, skating around with it. That started with Red Wings captain Ted Lindsay, who quoted, "Just wanted everyone to see a better view of the cup," which, yeah. There are other trophies, though. There's a Campbell Bowl or something like that, and the Prince of Wales trophies, which you can touch it, you cannot touch it. If your team wins, your team wins. If your team doesn't, your team doesn't. Hang on. I feel like Lucille Bluth. I really do. It's been some time, by the way, and we know that because also I'm drinking out of, where is it? Because it's only apropos, right? Or appropriate. West side. But, okay. So now the rule is if you win the cup, you get 100 days. Your team gets 100 days during the off season for it to go have a little adventure. But here's some other things about, and some of these things that may be included in your day with the cup. For example, Ken Daneko, he ate cereal out of it. Darren Hatcher used it as a cooler at a party. Thomas Holmstrom's cousin, during Holmstrom's day with the cup, had his daughter baptized in it. Which, if it was up to my father and my father had the power, all three of us, me, my older brother, and my younger sister, we all would have been baptized in the cup. Had it been by my father's hand. Had it been in my father's hand, we would have all been baptized in the Stanley Cup. Clark Gillies of the Islanders allowed his dog to eat out of it, to which his defense said, "He's a good dog." Which I'd let her eat out of it, I think. Dustin Brown, I don't know. I wrote this 30 minutes ago. I know all of this stuff. I just have to know. Dustin Brown and his two older boys drank chocolate milk out of it, which, honestly, that sounds kind of fun. I would do that. It's ridden a roller coaster. It helped Dennis Duffy from 30 Rock fight illiteracy.
Hockey's ultimate prize, and me and it, we're teaming up to fight illiteracy.
30 Rock fight illiteracy. And it's even a gay ally. The Stanley Cup is truly all of it. The Stanley Cup is a multidimensional star and legend, and don't you forget that. However, it's gone through some shit, people. Let me tell you what this thing's been through. Okay, so according to the legend, 1905, members of the Ottawa Senators, shocker, it was Ottawa, tried drop kicking it across a frozen canal. And people will deny that happened, but the cup knows what happened. The cup and God knows what happened. The Montreal Wanderers lost it. By the way, in the drunk history of Montreal, in the drunk history of the Montreal Canadiens, you'll learn that there were two teams in Montreal originally: the Wanderers for the English representing people, and the French representation that was the Canadiens. Le Blanc, Le Bleu, Le Roche. I learned that from the book. Anyway, the Montreal Wanderers left it with the photographer whose mom, then the photographer's mom, then, do you have thoughts? Okay, thank you. Do you want to continue? Yeah, the photographer's mom used it then to plant geraniums in her front yard. In 1924, the Canadiens left it on the side of the road after they pretty much like had a flat tire and they were trying to repair it. They left it on the side of the road. So like we have the keys, we have our IDs, we have everything, we got money, we're good. And then, oh, we forgot the Stanley Cup. They drove back, however, and found it where they left it. Also in like 1922, Muzz and Lynn Patrick, who were the sons of Lester Patrick, the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, which, by the way, fun fact, the Canadiens have won this cup more than any team in the NHL. That's not like, that's an actual fact. That's an actual like. So in 1925, Lynn and Muzz Patrick, who were the sons of Lester Patrick, the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, they found the cup in the basement, and then they used a nail to etch it into their names. Oh, you okay? They etched their names into the cup, which they later would have officially when they won it with the New York Rangers. They then would use it as a urinal in 1940. But don't worry. I know. But don't worry. They aren't the only people to have defecated in this thing. It is a petri dish of wonders, of which it's like those bacteria that people can unfreeze, like scientists unfreeze, that they're like, oh my god, this was like in the like skin tissue of somebody from the, and everyone's like, don't unfreeze it, you know. They burned at one point, the owners of the New York Rangers burned the Madison Square Garden's mortgage in the cup, which desecrated it, which, according to people, it desecrated the entirety of the cup, leading to a 54-year drought of the New York Rangers not winning a Stanley Cup. So I learned this. A guy who was a Montreal fan when the Montreal Canadiens were losing to the Stanley Cup No. I am drunk. A guy during the Chicago Blackhawks Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup Final Series was so devastated at how badly the Canadiens were playing, ran out of, like, literally got up out of his seat and sprinted to where the cup was, broke the glass and stole the cup and tried to return it back to Montreal. And his defense to the judge was, Your Honor, I was just trying to take it back to where it belongs, Montreal. To which I would have said, case in point, innocent. But I digress. I don't know. And then in 1964, Red Kelly of the Detroit Red Wings, his actual baby, used it as a toilet on accident because, well, it was a baby. The cup has been slept with. Marc Messier in 1987 let people drink out of it. Like, he went back to, like, Edmonton and was like, you like getting drunk? And everyone was like, yeah. And he was like, we're drinking out the cup tonight. And everyone was like, okay. And everyone was just like,
Go.
It was the 80s, so I can only imagine that's what that was like. Like, after a parade in 1994, Mike Richter and the Rangers went to an Irish pub called McSorley's, and they literally went into McSorley's Ale House. They locked the door, and they said, everybody's drinking out of the cup! And everyone was like, everyone was drinking out of the cup. Like, however, there were dents out of it. Somebody's broken teeth from drink. Like, players have chipped or broken teeth from drinking out of this thing. Chris Draper's daughter, an infant, pooped in it. Several babies have pooped in this thing. And an NHL commercial to prepare for the oncoming, like, playoffs or the new season, Jack Eichel and I think it was like, was it Pietrangelo? No, it wasn't Pietrangelo. It was Marchessault. It was Jonathan Marchessault and Jack Eichel who ran it through a dishwasher because God knows it needs to be ran through the dishwasher. And of recent, like the Avalanche literally put their body on the line for the cup, with several reports of people tripping and falling with the cup in their hands. At some point during like the 90s and 80s, like it has been in several pools. There's a legend that this thing was found frozen at the bottom of a lake, or like how people, tried to see if it could float. Spoiler, it can't. The thing can't swim. No one has taught the Stanley Cup to swim. And in 2025, it is my mission to teach the Stanley Cup to swim. Because or get it a puddle jumper. Just put a puddle jumper on the thing. And I mean, also, it's been the same cup, by the way, since like the very first days. Like this thing is so special and so beloved by the people and the players and organizations that play for it. It's simply the best. Like, it is truly a phenomenon. It's a Stanley Cup phenomenon. No, it's like, it is truly one of the most amazing trophies in the world. And to have your name etched on it, you win, for a day, but you walk together forever. I think that's the quote. I'm drunk. I don't know if that's the correct quote or not, but like, it is a cup that is simply, it is something I have watched every year since I was an infant be hoisted up over the heads of people who, you see these grown men out there like pretending that, they'll beat you where you stand. Like, they have, you look behind those eyes and there's nothing. But then when that clock hits 0 in Game 7, you see little boys. Like, you see children who have grown up. And why am I getting choked up talking about this thing? Who have their whole lives dreamed in their backyards or in their, like, driveways or in their local rinks, pretending that they scored the game winner or that they blocked the game-winning shot for the other team. Or you see that, and you see that all come out, and they have their names etched on that cup forever and ever, amen. Like, you are a part of a permanent history with this cup that it can never be etched out, except in one case. We're not talking about that now. But it is something spectacular that I don't think a lot of people understand. And if you do understand, like, when you watch it happen, when you see that joy come out, no matter what team, when you see that joy happen, like, it is something spectacular. It is something that you will never forget. There's the wire. The cord is still in the shot. Anyway, this has been the drunk, abbreviated history of the Stanley Cup. This is probably also poor. Please, 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 please be kind to me. I'm drinking it. It is literally, it is 5:30. Like, anyway, congratulations Team Canada for winning the Four Nations tournament. I pray to God whoever didn't touch that cup, that didn't touch the trophy, that you guys do all right this season. Whoever did touch the trophy, I hope you guys do all right too. And I'm really excited for regular season because tomorrow I get to watch my Red Wings again. And I've missed my team, okay? Like, sue me. Hey. And for that, oh wait, also in 2024, when Kachuk won the cup, when the Rats and the Cats won the cup, yeah, Matt Kachuk took the cup, the Stanley Cup, and filled it with beer, and he poured it on to people, and then he went into the Atlantic Oceans with it. My day with the cup, honestly, I would take it to a nice dinner. I would take it to Cookout, which is a thing in the South. I would drink a vodka cran out of it, which is, like, you can never not have, like, enough vodka crans in this goddamn world. You can never not have enough vodka crans in this world. Like, And like, I would take it home. I'd show it the world. I'd let Charlie eat out of it, probably. I would let you eat out of the Stanley Cup. Do you have anything to say to the people? Well said. But yeah, like, it's a beautiful cup, and I am losing the plot very quickly here, people. Please subscribe. I drop videos every Friday. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And yeah, it's the good old hockey game.